A good coach will trigger you. If you're working with a coach that's fucking someone who you talk to, but they don't trigger you, they don't cause you to have an emotional reaction, put you in fight or flight, or put you in like, what did you just say to me? A good coach will fuck you up like that, okay? You're attracting toxic relationships because you're fucking toxic. That's the fucking truth. I'm Luke, and you're listening to the Luke Mind Power Podcast. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode on the Luke Mind Power Podcast. It's a blessing to be alive, and it's amazing to be here again because you woke up today, or you're going to bed, maybe right now, or wherever you are, but you're breathing, you're tuning in, you're ready for more action. That's why you're listening. And if you're tuning in for the first time, then welcome to the podcast. This is a very powerful place, and it's only a place which helps you to wake up to your greatness. Everything that I do, whether it's dancing, speaking, my events, coaching, it's all about waking you up to your greatness. It's all about you unlocking that power that you have within yourself that you don't know about because you've never taken enough time to love yourself, to nurture yourself, to show up for yourself, to have your own back, to be your own fucking best friend. And the moment that you start to do that and you surround yourself with some extraordinary shit, you start becoming extraordinary, okay? So just because you're not where you want to be right now doesn't mean that you're not going to fucking get there. It just means that you had to go through a lot of shit right now. And so, that's why you're tuning in right now, because you're like, oh shit, maybe there's more, maybe there's more to life. But before I fucking keep going, I'm going to just stop for a moment, okay, and just make some announcements, okay? So the first announcement is that I've got a fucking new manager, and her name is fucking Renee, and she's fucking extraordinary. And the only reason I attracted her into my life is because I'm fucking extraordinary, is because I only surround myself with extraordinary people. You hear that, Renee? That's fucking right. So I'm very grateful. She's fucking amazing, and I love her, okay? And you're going to see some powerful shit happen in the Luke Mind Power world over the next few months, few years. That's going to blow your fucking mind because I have the right people in my fucking life. But I didn't attract these people straight away. First, you have to grow. First, you have to believe in yourself. First, you have to freaking show up for yourself before things start to happen for you. And that's one of the shittest things for most people, most of us, right? We don't have the faith, which is then leads into not having the patience to persevere when things aren't going your way, when things are not working out for you, when things not happen in the way that you fucking want them to happen, or when things are, you want things to manifest, but it's not manifesting. And so you give up hope. You got to work for your magic, man. You want miracles to happen. You want magic to happen in your life. You want to say something like, oh, I'm so lucky. And it's like, no, bitch, you're fucking lucky because you fucking showed up for yourself, because you persevered, because you realize you're resilient. You were resilient in times of fucking turmoil, when shit was going haywire, when you thought you were going to fucking die, when shit was going really fucking bad, and you still persevered. You're fucking powerful, man. You know what I mean? So you're just going to keep feeling this as you listen to the Luke Mind Power Podcast. You're going to keep realizing that, damn, I'm good. Damn, I'm powerful. Damn, I'm amazing. I need to keep listening to this episode. I need to keep listening to the whole podcast, and surround yourself with the right people. So I'm blessed, man. Of course, I did the work for myself to get to where I'm at. Oh, man, it's amazing when you connect with the right people. It's amazing when you attract the right people. It's amazing when you have the right team. Because, at the beginning, it's uncomfortable because you have to. I started by myself. I remember starting, my coaching business. Before that, it was like trying to figure shit out for a couple of years, traveling, self-discovery. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's that. And the other thing that I want to quickly remind you guys, that if you listen to the Luke Mind Power Podcast, and this is, again, coming from my manager, all right? Because it makes sense. It's the truth. If you listen to this podcast, because this is what's happened to her as well. If you listen to this podcast, it's part of your personal development and your healing. You will speed up your healing process by listening to this podcast. And I know many of you already know this because I already get heaps of DMs and messages from you guys letting me know that my podcast has changed your life. And I also have that reiterated and amplified simply because a lot of people who have listened to my podcast has also become personal private clients of mine and in my group coaching programs, and have also started working with me because they have listened to so many episodes of my podcast, and they're like, hey, I've listened to this many episodes, or I've listened to all your episodes, and I'm ready to take action. I want to work with you. So I'm very well aware of how powerful this podcast is and how it actually speeds up your healing process. If you're trying to build confidence, if you're trying to become more self-aware, if you're trying to learn how to love yourself, if you're trying to put yourself first, if you're trying to show up for yourself and become your own best friend, you're trying to live your freaking dreams, not your fears, you listen to the Luke Mind Power Podcast. There ain't no other fucking motherfucking podcast like this podcast. And it's important, but you pay attention to that because there's no other energy like this. and you want to feel this shit, man. When you listen to the podcast, you want to open your heart, open your fucking mind to, I'm receiving this energy because, man, like, in order for you to step into your greatness, you got to live it and breathe it and feel it. You know, you want things to manifest and things to happen in your life, but you're not embodying it. You know what I mean? You're walking around like, oh, I don't know, like you're doubting yourself, like I was for the first fucking 33 years of my life, fucking insecure and shit. So many people who don't know me will listen to this episode or will listen to the last 5 minutes and go, this guy's lost the plot. This guy's just having a rant. You know, this guy's living in his ego. This guy thinks he's too good. So I want to just remind you that, again, like I told you on the last episode, people will always judge what they don't understand. The only way that you get to know someone is by spending time with them. And if you really want to get to know who I am, spend time with me by listening to the Luke Mind Power podcast. Someone wrote a comment today on my Instagram. I keep attracting toxic people into my life. Now, I didn't reply. You know, I don't reply to every single comment because, you know, I fucking can't because there's too many. And I hope maybe this person listens to my podcast, and I hope that there's many people that are listening to this podcast and they're probably wondering, why do I keep attracting toxic people into my life? And if you listen to my podcast, then maybe I'll take you back memory lane, but I did share this story before. And one time when I was on TikTok, I made a video about relationships, about toxic relationships, and I talked about why you attract toxic relationships into your life. So when we think about what is toxic, negative, manipulative, deceiving, basically shit relationships, unhealthy relationships. You get my drift? You understand what I'm trying to say? Okay, so now that you understand what I'm trying to say, now the question is, you can be or have been through really crappy relationships, or you're in one right now, and you're wondering why do I attract them? You're attracting toxic relationships because you're fucking toxic. That's the fucking truth. And so when you get triggered, it's just alarm bells to go, okay, something needs to be healed, something I need to talk about, something I've got to reflect on, something's going on within myself that I haven't addressed yet. And you're probably wondering, why? How can you say that I'm toxic? I'm attracting Well, if you're attracting bullshit into your life, you're fucking tolerating it, which means you got low fucking self-confidence, low self-esteem, and you shouldn't be fucking allowing that shit into your life. That's why you're fucking toxic. So many people go, what? Are you fucking serious? How could you say that? It's like, yeah, if you're being manipulated, if you're being deceived, right? Deceived is in like you're putting up shit with shit and you're fucking seeing the red flags, you know? And that's why you're listening to this podcast, because you're supposed to learn from what I'm telling you to become more confident in yourself, more self-aware of what it is that you are going to allow in your life and what is healthy for you, which makes you feel good and valuable and powerful and amazing. That's a fucking healthy relationship. So you want to look at that and go, is that happening in my life? Am I receiving that? Is there an equal balance of giving and receiving in the relationship? Because if there isn't, then maybe I'm tolerating chucking shit that I shouldn't be. And that's where you start to pay attention. You go, wow, this is not fucking building me up. What's a fucking relationship anyway? I believe a relationship is fucking you help her become the best version of yourself. She fucking helps you become the best version of yourself. Whatever kind of relationship you're in. You know, your parents could be manipulative. Your fucking sisters or your brothers could be fucking, you know, putting you through shit or putting you down or fucking treating you a specific way, and you're fucking allowing it. You're tolerating all that shit. And then you're wondering, why do they treat me like that? Because you fucking let them. Because you're the one that's fucking tolerating it. Because you're the one that's saying, well, okay, and you're letting that shit continue. And it's like, well, what do I do? But it's fucking family. And it's like, well, fuck them off. That's the fucking truth, okay? What kind of life do you want to live? Do you want to live a life with people in your life who don't value you and appreciate you and fucking love you the way that you should be loved? Because the truth is, you won't be loved unless you love your fucking self. And when you start respecting yourself and showing up for yourself and fucking putting yourself first, then you fucking teach people how to treat you. You then fucking show up for yourself and you show people that you have fucking standards and that you fucking believe in yourself. And that's when shit will start to fucking change. So now you understand, after what I just said, and I explained myself, why I say why you attract toxic relationships. Now, the truth is, when you grow and you heal and you keep listening to this podcast, what's going to happen in your life is that it's still very possible that you will attract unhealthy relationship. But guess what? It is your responsibility to pay attention to the red flags, because your job is to evolve, not to repeat. So it's very likely that as you keep evolving, and I'm telling you this because I'm speaking from experience, that you will still attract people that are broken, people that are hurt, people that are emotionally unavailable, okay? And you have to become aware, oh my goodness, this is something that was happening in the past, or this is something that I'm allowing that I shouldn't be allowing because I've given so much of my time and energy and love, and I'm not receiving the same in reciprocation. And the same thing goes, your job is not to fucking teach people how to treat you. Your job is not to coach people. Your job is not to heal people. Your job is to be your true, authentic self. And when you know that it's not being reciprocated and you're not receiving the same in return, you have to pay attention to that and go, you know what? This is not healthy for me. And you got to have the courage to walk away when dinner's not fucking being served. And these seeds that I'm planting, because that's what I'm really doing, I'm throwing them at you. Like, I've got a fucking bucket. Every time I turn on the podcast, I got a bucket, right? And I fucking throw these seeds into your bloody brain. And I'm planting all these seeds all the time. And whether you start making your transformation right now, or whether it happens in 6 months, I know that it's going to happen because some things take time to fucking grow. Okay. And you'll listen to this, or maybe you'll hear something in the future, or maybe someone will have a conversation about something specific and you'll be like, where did I hear that before? And most likely you would have heard it from a podcast, maybe, and that will be the catalyst for your change, So before I go any further, another quick announcement. Make sure that you do get your tickets for our next live event, Unlock Your Greatness Conference in Sydney on the 4th of January, 2024, with a special extraordinary guest. His name, you know him. His name is DJ Danilo. He's my best friend. We've been on this journey together over the last 5.5 years. I mean, I've known the bloke since, that we actually worked together at the Sydney Olympics. And, he made a bet on me. He said that he said he was faster than me. And so we had a race while we were cleaning the hockey stadiums. And the bastard beat me. He did. He beat me. And he's the one that's behind all of my dancing. People are like, who taught you how to dance? I learned from Danilo. He's the fucking master, okay? He's the master of music. He's the master of dancing. He's a fucking comedian. He's a fucking extraordinary. And he's going to be at the Unlock Your Greatness conference. We're going to be dancing. We're going to be transforming. We're going to be healing. We're going to be having breakthroughs. And it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. It is going to be in Sydney, in the city. It's going to be absolutely like something that you've never experienced before. And I can't wait to meet you guys in person. There is only limited seating, so make sure if you are in Sydney or Australia, or you want to come from overseas for this event, 4th of January 2024, you want to start the year off right, then make sure you get your tickets. They are in the description below. This event, let me tell you, man, you see me dancing, man, this is what we're going to do at the event. Not the whole time, but obviously, so many people comment on my freaking posts and they're like, I want to dance with you. I'm like, hey, you got an opportunity right now. Get your VIP tickets because we've got an after party and we're going to be making a fucking TikTok viral content video together. So finally, your dream can come true. Come and meet us. We're going to have a meet and greet. We're going to have some cocktails. We're going to have some canapes. We're going to be networking, surrounding yourself with like-minded people, and you do not want to miss out, okay? Unlock Your Greatness Conference in Sydney, 4th of January 2024, okay? Now, for everybody around the world, you're listening to this right now, and you're like, spewing, I wish I could be there. You can, okay? Every event that I do is always going to have a virtual live stream access, okay? So there ain't no excuses except the ones that you say. I can't be there. But you can watch it on live stream, okay? It's going to be live streamed via Zoom, okay? And all you need to do, again, click the link in the description below, get your tickets. You'll see that you can purchase virtual live stream tickets. They are available, okay? And everyone can purchase them, okay? So if you can't make it in person, don't make excuses. Get your live stream tickets because the event goes for 7 hours for the day. That's why it's called a conference. It's a full day event, okay? We ain't mucking around. I'm fucking serious about your life. I'm serious about your transformation. I'm serious about you living your best life and surrounding yourself with extraordinary people because as I always mention to you and I always remind you that who you surround yourself with is whom you become. Okay. When I first started, where did I go? I went to a conference. I went to another conference. And look what happened 5.5 years later. Okay. So don't underestimate the power of taking action, investing in yourself and coming along. And most importantly, I look forward to meeting you because, this journey for me obviously has very, very, virtual, right? And, the physical connection and obviously, having these kind of events is definitely something that, you want to get around, right? Because it changes your life. Anyway, moving forward, if you don't go through shit, you can't become someone. Everybody wants to feel like they are important. Everybody wants to feel like they're someone. Everybody wants to feel valuable. But how do you feel valuable when you haven't done the work? How do you feel valuable if you've been around an environment that's never valued you? How do you feel valuable or believe in yourself if you've got people around you that keep not believing in you, that don't believe in your dreams, that every time you talk about something specific, they always knock you back, or they always tell you that it's not possible, or that don't think too far ahead, don't dream too big. I know that I'm different. I know that I'm not like everybody else, but either are you. You know what I mean? Like, this is the challenge of your life, is to, like, your job is not to fit in. But for some reason, I get it. Like, we emulate each other. We copy each other. I notice it. When someone does something, you do it too. And if you got people around you that, don't lift you up, don't inspire you, or don't have big dreams, this is where you feel like, an outcast. Because if you have big dreams, if you want to achieve something great, if you want to achieve something that hasn't been achieved before, if you want to, like, really step up, and it's scary. It's scary to share it with people who haven't been there before, or who don't have big dreams like that, or who don't think it's possible. Like, I spend a lot of time with myself, but because I've got a good relationship with myself, I enjoy my own company. I'm not lonely. Sure, I'm going to be very, very authentic. I'm always fucking authentic anyway. But when I'm the way that I am, anyone who listens or is tuning in can easily go, he's very egoistic, or he thinks he's the best, or whatever, man. But I'm always trying to be my true authentic self when I'm talking to you guys, so that I can give you the truth, because the truth is healing. When I'm with myself, yes, I do yearn for, like, female energy, for that connection. I do yearn for that at times. I'll be honest, and that's definitely been the challenge for me, because for the first 4 years, I was basically, living in solitude, and I wasn't open to relationships. And the reason why was because I had to learn. And that's why I know it can almost seem so daunting and uncomfortable when I just told you 4 years of coming back home to myself, 4 years of saying yes to Luke, 4 years of going, you know what? I think I need to spend some more time with me. Like, I've been always giving my time, giving my energy. I've always been the yes guy. I've always been available for everybody else, but never for myself. I've never put myself first. If I can give you anything right now, it's the awareness and understanding and appreciation that what can happen to you if you give yourself to yourself, and you give yourself that time and energy, and you disconnect yourself from the world so that you can reconnect yourself with yourself, you'll blow yourself away, man. Like, there's so much in you that you don't know about because you're lost in everybody else's lives. And then again, that's where the codependency comes in. That's where the sense of, like, community. I'm connected to people. I've got friends, this and that. And look, everyone's on a different path. Okay, you don't have to. It's not about copying what I do, but I'm just sharing with you the appreciating and understanding of, like, how do you find your balance? Disconnect yourself, so that then eventually you do want to hang out with your friends or your families temporarily, and then you disconnect yourself again. Sometimes we're doing it too much, and then we become reliant on that external force to make us feel like we're enough, to make us feel like we're good. Okay, yeah, I'm seeing my family, or I'm seeing my friends, or I'm hanging out with people. And the reason why is because you're lacking that love and that connection and that confidence within yourself to spend more time with yourself. And so you keep latching on to something external just to affirm that you're good. So this is very, very important, because yes, it is all about balance, but it's just understanding that, the path less traveled is uncomfortable. The path of solitude, the path of transformation, growth, your next level, there's a lot of time that you have to spend with yourself. There's a lot of time that is uncomfortable. There's a lot of time that you don't have a lot of people around, because you're building something that's never been built before. You're creating someone who's never been created before. You're stepping into a version of yourself you've never been before, and it's uncomfortable. That's why most people don't succeed. Most people don't make it. That's why there's such a massive divide between the population, because it's not easy. And you have to explore your life. You have to explore. If you don't explore, you don't know what you don't know. If you don't get out of like what you've always been doing, and there's many of you guys that are still continuously living in the same environment, you're still doing the same shit, surrounding with the same people, you know, and you're thinking and expecting that life's going to get better. And some of you have already given up. You're just freaking thinking that, you know, that's how it is. This is life. This is what I've created so far. This is just how it is. And it's like, nah, man, there's a whole world out there, bro. You know, there are things that you haven't done yet. There are things you haven't tried yet, you know, that can expand your mind and that can help you to realize that there's more from you that you don't know about yet. And that's why, like Jim Rohn says, you know, don't stop learning. You know, don't stop learning. Don't stop trying. Don't stop getting out of your comfort zone. It's no point of like focusing on the future and focusing on your retirement and focusing on money when you're not living in fulfillment, when you're not happy, when you're not living your best life, when things are not going in your direction. You know, you need to change the path. You're the captain of your ship, you know, and yes, it's scary. Yes, it's, you're going to make mistakes, but have an open mind. Be okay with not being perfect. You can make mistakes. That's the whole point. How do you expect to become a successful person or whatever you're trying to become successful in or become that better version of yourself? You've never done it before. You've never been that version of yourself before. You're never there, and you're trying to be perfect, living in this fucking perfectionism because that's how you've been conditioned because of your childhood. You know, if it's not fucking perfect, well, don't fucking show it to me. If it's not 100%, go back and fucking do it again. And I have a question for you if you're listening right now. How does it feel to be yelled at? Because you guys are listening to the Luke Mind Power podcast, and you guys know I go off, man. And I don't think that there's anyone else who does this shit like I do. In fact, I know. And you know, that's why I'm quite reluctant to have anyone as a guest on my podcast. You've got to be absolutely next level shit if you want to come on the Luke Mind Power podcast, because you've got to be able to take my place. You know, you've got to be on that level of like, yeah, that person needs to be on this podcast because they resemble and replicate a very similar type of energy that I have. This is more than storytelling. And that's something about this podcast that I want to keep, as a trademark. Like, it is high energy. It's, I have ebbs and flows, and I was taught like that by one of the most extraordinary speakers in the world. Her name is Lisa Nichols. And I was taught, to ebb and flow with the way that I communicate. And sometimes I go low and sometimes I go hard and sometimes I go high and sometimes I go loud and sometimes I go quiet. And sometimes I pause. Sometimes I give you time to think. Sometimes I slow down so that you can breathe, so that you can receive the message, the energy that I'm sending your way. Because I know that life is challenging, and I know that it's not easy, and I know that it's hard a lot of the times. And I know that some of us have just been living really shit lives for many, many years and almost thinking that this is it. It's done. I can't make it. It's not going to work. It's not going to happen for me. And this is the main reason why I keep showing up, because I felt that way for so many years. And I was just wondering and contemplating and thinking and just like questioning myself all the time. But let me tell you, man, questioning yourself is beautiful. Asking yourself the question, what do I love? Asking yourself the question, who am I? Ask yourself the question, why am I here? Ask yourself the question, why have I gone through what I've gone through? Ask yourself the question, am I tolerating or allowing bullshit in my life that I shouldn't be? Ask yourself the question, even if I'm not where I want to be, could it be possible that I could get myself out of here? The answer is yes, it is possible. Anything is possible if you believe so. And one of the ways that I've helped myself to believe in myself is through synchronicities and signs. And so 22 is my birthday, 22nd of September. And my first girlfriend, her birthday was the 11th of the 11th. And I didn't pick up on these synchronicities until I really started this journey. But the amount of times that I've seen 1111, the amount of times that I was living at my mum's place and I was driving my dad's old Toyota Camry, and every time I got in the car, it was 444 or 333. And there was just too many, man. Like living at my sister's house, her number of her house is 22. The street of her street where she lives is Power Street. This is Luke Mind Power. Too many synchronicities. And it's like, how can I avoid all of that? How can I not believe that I have a greater calling? How can I not believe in my dreams? How can I not believe when I continue to see these synchronicities? Like I'm living on level 22 right now. How is that possible? I reached out to my real estate agent. I said, get me a fucking apartment in Dubai. And he got me an apartment on level 22. How the fuck is that possible? I see too many synchronicities. It just, whatever the fuck it is, God, energy, universe, whatever, man, angels, spirits, for me to not believe that there's a higher power, or for me to not believe that there's a God, or for me to not believe that there's something out there that is guiding me, that is sending me messages all the time just to remind me, Luke, you're going in the right direction. Luke, believe in yourself. Luke, don't give up. Luke, keep going. And I'm telling you, and I'm calling you out right now, because if you are someone who also is seeing synchronicities and you're paying attention to these numbers, but you don't know what they fucking mean, I'm here to remind you what they mean. It's calling you to wake up to your greatness. It's calling you to believe in yourself. It's calling you to open your fucking mouth and speak your truth. It's calling you to say yes to you. It's calling you to come home to you. It's calling you to say, hey, stop being a fucking people pleaser and start fucking pleasing yourself. Start saying yes to yourself. Start coming home back to yourself. Because there are so many beautiful people that you haven't met yet, because you keep fearing losing the people that you've had in your life thus far, because that's what you've known and that's just comfortable. And you don't understand the extraordinary people that are waiting to meet you, but you haven't met them yet because you're fucking afraid of growing and letting go all the shit that you've been living with so far. And it's not necessarily the shit, because I'm not here to say the same thing about my own family. It's like I had to disconnect myself from my family. They're not shit. It's just that I had to go my own way to figure out myself, and don't be afraid of being too loud. Don't be afraid of being your true authentic self. I'm telling you that your authenticity is the secret to your success. Your authenticity is the secret to your healing. Your authenticity is what's going to get you into alignment with where you're supposed to be going in your life. It's the reason why you're attracting the wrong people. It's the reason why you're not living your best life. It's the reason why you're in your own way. It's the reason why you fucking give a fuck about your parents and what they think of you, and your in-laws and your fucking family and your friends and the people that you think you're close to that really give a shit about you. They think that they have your own back, but really you're just fucking scared because you're scared of their opinions, but you're not being your true authentic self, and you fucking know it. Deep down, there's something in you that's calling you, and you're fucking ignoring it, because you're afraid of what they're going to fucking think of you if you speak the truth. You're afraid of what it's going to cost, and everything has a fucking price, man. You want your fucking freedom? It's going to cost you something. Are you willing? Are you willing to pay the price for your freedom so that your soul can guide you in the right direction where you're supposed to be going? Because many of us, we're not tapped in, so we're not paying attention, and we're too conditioned mentally. And we've gotten to a point in our life that because we are where we are, there's no return. You're at the point of no return. It's like, well, I've come this far in life. This is just how it is. And I'm here to remind you that no, it fucking isn't how it is. It's how you want it to be. And if you want it to continue the way it's been fucking continuing and how it's been over the last 5 years, keep fucking going in that direction. You can keep getting the same shit you've gotten. And in 10 years, you're going to look back, and I fucking betcha you're going to look back and go, damn, I regret not fucking taking action sooner. I recall someone who I connected with back in 2019, and she said, one of the purposes of life is to conquer yourself. And when we think about conquering yourself, what are we actually talking about? Well, it's the mind. Conquer your mind. Your mind has been conditioned through experiences and information over time to think a specific way. And so it's your responsibility to conquer over the fear or the doubt of what it is that you think you are, which is what you are not. I know. Because you are so much greater than that. You are next level shit. That's what you are. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning into another episode of the Luke Mind Power Podcast. It has been a blessing and a pleasure to spend some more time with you. I can't wait to meet you in person at our next live event in Sydney, Unlock Your Greatness Conference, 4th of January, 2024. Get your tickets. The link is in the description below to get your tickets. You can join us via live stream as well if you can't make it in person. But be sure to get your tickets ASAP, especially if you're coming in person, because the tickets are going to sell out very quickly. Okay, so we only have a limited amount of seats. So please, if you're coming in person, get your tickets ASAP so you don't miss out. Okay. If you listen to this on the Apple podcast, guys, please do me a massive favor. Leave me a 5-star rating and a review. I really appreciate it. It goes a long way. And if you're listening on Spotify as well, please do me a favor and leave me a 5-star rating on the Spotify app as well. And if you are on YouTube, please don't forget to hit that red subscribe button, hit the like button, share this with your friends as well, and comment in the comments section what you love about the podcast. And I look forward to reading all your comments and staying connected with you guys, because you are amazing. And I'm very grateful and very appreciative for your support and your love. I wouldn't be here without you guys. And like I said, I've only started doing live events. If you've been listening to my podcast, I didn't start there. I started at episode 1. There was no one listening. I started at having, 3,000 or 2,000 for whatever it was on my Instagram account. Now there's over 500,000. You know what I mean? So you know that you're talking to the real deal, someone that's growing, and then I'm changing the world. And I only started because I changed myself. And I know that you have the same purpose in your life, is to heal yourself, is to fix yourself, is to save yourself. Before you can help others, it's fucking help yourself first. Okay? And even if you do feel guilty to focus on yourself first, that's okay. That just means you're growing. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna love you and leave you. I'll see you on the next episode. Peace out. Thank you for joining me on this journey of self-discovery and growth. If you're ready to grow and reach your full potential and find inner peace, send me a DM that says, I want inner peace, and I'll send you the next steps. You can accomplish anything you set your mind to. When you change your mind, you change your whole life. So don't hesitate and send that DM over to me. Myself and my team can't wait to meet you and witness your transformation in full glory. See you next week.